This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
The buzzword abroad with the Prime Minister of India making his pitches is that he clearly is the best spokesperson India has had abroad. But then I have with me several NRIs, several people who belong to India but who've been living here for years, who want to invest, but then there's something holding them back. Why are NRIs at this moment too apprehensive to invest back home? Let me get someone like Dr. Jani first. Would you be wanting to invest in India? Where, what industry, and why are you waiting?
We have been investing in India for many years, but not as much as we would want. Very, very micro investments. And I have been looking at this. I already do business with India. We run an Ayurvedic company here, which we pioneered in this country, and so we import Ayurvedic herbs. But we find that there's lots of bureaucracy, lots of paperwork, hassle, which we often don't understand. And often in the process, the import-export business gets lost. And one becomes very apprehensive of losing the investment in India. And with Modi ji becoming a prime minister and his pitches in the speech and also seeing some change in India, you know, particularly with the corruption and the governance particularly, we are beginning to get the hope. We have great expectations of Modi ji for that, because he's a very different prime minister. For the first time in the history of India, we have heard a different politics. A more...
But you're still scared, you
But we are still scared. We're still very apprehensive of investing in India. And there are many, many reasons. We could talk about that again.
Yes. We'll talk in detail about the many, many reasons. What is the first major reason for you to be apprehensive to invest in India?
It's because of the new government and because of Mr. Modi. Now, if you see, he's mean the business. When he speak, when he talk about India, he mean the business. And the business people only invest if any leader mean the business.
So now, do you want to invest in India?
Well, not only me, but so many people was held back because of the bureaucracy, because of the trouble, because of the so many paperworks and...
Paperwork, you're saying, bureaucracy. Let's talk about solutions at this stage. Legislation, absolutely. Legislation, paperwork, the several departments that one perhaps will have to head to. Make in India is the buzzword. If your business in India, you're hoping to bring a few things to be able to increase exports for India. What are the hassles there? What is it that really holds all of you back?
Well, you find that most Western countries have got an export bank which is financed by a local country. In India, you have the Exim Bank of India, but they will not finance private enterprise, even if the order is for $20 million. They will only finance an order going out to a government. Yeah. And clearly private enterprise is the buzzword here, where you need to promote the private enterprise to get any significant orders. So Exim Bank of India needs to do more in supporting exports to private enterprise overseas.
Finance-wise, let there be more to support financially. Let there be less hassles when it comes to paperwork, legislation. Too much of red tape. Red tape is one word, perhaps. Chandra, could you come this side, please? Yes.
I think one of the most factors are, look, when you ask us whether the Western people or the Indian people, NRIs, want to come back to India. Now, why would an NRI want to go back to India when he's now registered himself as an NRI? He has to have that incentive to go back. I mean, from my Sindhi community, I will tell you, we have 20% who want to go back. I would like to see 60% to go back with some investment. And we are convincing them to go back, for the fact is, so long as they've said to us, could Mr. Modi reduce the red tape that is the stigma behind it, and is our money safe?
Is there a sense of fear sometimes when you want to invest back home, whether your business will actually be yours at the end of 5 years?
Yeah, when you invest in India, you mean whether your business will be yours. I would say the things are improving, of course. The, if you can see the middle part, the people who are, well educated
Yeah.
and people who are with it are going with Mr. Modi and rising up. But the bottom is not being raised.
Sure, perhaps.
And it's so much of a
Perhaps
problem
which is why we talk
sometimes.
about legislation and not one man,
One
Mr.
very
Modi.
important point to make
Yes.
is that there is a lack of reliable partnership, business partnership in India for private enterprises, as Sir was saying. And you cannot really trust the investment will be safe, as he said. And yet we have family there. The reason why this is happening is we find that there is not a transparency
No
in the chambers of commerce. The Indian chambers of commerce is not actually really supportive of, I think, Indians coming. But I must say there is a ray of hope with
A ray
Modi
of
ji
hope.
because there is a UK
I was going to-
IBC,
yes.
the India British Council, and I have been in touch with them. They're quite helpful, but it can cost the earth. And you have to invest a lot of money before you actually start making money in India.
And invest that many more emotions, including that of risk. You know, I know a lot of people
Yes.
who are middle class, forget about professional investment. They're middle class, they've saved, they've worked very hard, and want to buy a little piece of land back home,
That's
but they're
right. I was just going
so
to come to
scared,
that, yes.
so scared to do that because they're not sure whether at the end of the 3 years or 4 years that piece of land will be theirs indeed. So
Can I correct you? Because
Yes.
you can't buy land in India for business unless you are a farmer.
yeah.
That's the legislation. I wanted to grow Ayurvedic herbs in a big farm in India. I've been trying for 12 years. I can't buy land. And I'm a genuinely well-meaning Indian patriot who would love to do that.
Who would love to
Didn't it?
do that,
Yeah.
but he's
And
not
then
allowed
I've not
because
been
of the
able to do
policy that only farmers are able to buy it. So there are several solutions. There are also, there is at this moment a big ray of hope that let the solutions come out. The campaign is great. Make in India is a fantastic campaign. You're trying to change the image, but then there are solutions that need to be made. And like all of them have been suggesting, bring down the paperwork. Let there be more transparency. Let there be more efficiency in the sense. Let there be a single system window, perhaps, to be able to start. To be able to help someone who wants to start buying land to start with and then have an enterprise there. So several solutions.
May I make a very
Quick point.
May I make a very worldwide point? It's a worldwide point. It's not just for UK. Just understand the middle class person who has just about enough money to invest in an apartment or land, right? Now that person must have the guarantee, like some other countries have, that I had put down, as an example, £200,000, which goes up in 10 years' time. Am I now able to sell it without red tape, come out of it with my investment, without too much red tape that my tax is not taken? Now, this policy that I'm mentioning now is the same as going in the US Asians, the same as European Asians, any Asians, NRIs.
Can I add to it that,
One quick point.
another thing, very quickly, the cash that you have to pay for the land or part of it or any property, that is also holding you back. You want to see clearly what you sell, you get. It's
Yes.
not like you get some cash and some
Absolutely, let
officially.
it all be transparent. Well, several solutions suggested by these wise men here. Hopefully, it is not just a campaign that will just mean to change the image of the country unless tangible solutions are created on ground. Here, we end this episode of Out of England, of all these solutions that are hopefully
Confidence is building up now.
confidence is building. So that's a fantastic note to end on, isn't it? That there is hope yet.